Over 10 years ago, the TGH Foundation launched the Women's Leadership Council, a women's giving circle dedicated to supporting the work of Tampa General Hospital. Along the way, they've had fun, sharing time with some of the most committed women in our community. They've had insight to change their family's health based on the information they've learned as members. They've had a voice, voting every year on projects and equipment to fund. They've had an impact, donating nearly $1 million to support TGH patients, families, and clinicians.
Back in the early days, as a founding member of this group, I remember thinking there's a lot of strong women in this town that needed to be connected to the hospital, and this was a really good way to make that happen. We met in a small community room, actually in the condo where I live, and I thought it was a wonderful way to get to know these wonderful women as we all came together for the same cause.
I would always be sure I had my pen and paper because I'd always want to take notes to go home and kind of go over again and think about. It was just nice to learn things that we might not have learned otherwise. It's important to me to be supporting TGH because it is a phenomenal hospital. They're so compassionate, so brilliant, so right there with you. And as we continue to support through this Women's Leadership Group and through the foundation, the funds that are needed, it's just going to get better and better.
Members of the Women's Leadership Council have undoubtedly left their mark on Tampa General Hospital, just like TGH's first female physician, Dr. Nancy Broomer. Nancy Broomer knew she wanted to study medicine, but in the 1940s, there were few seats available to women in universities. Rather than let that stop her, she instead became determined to make her own way in the field of medicine, earning her PhD from the University of Missouri in 1954, and then her MD from the Medical College of Pennsylvania in 1964. Her research and studies focused on obstetrics and gynecology, infertility, and genesic endocrinology. During a time when she was the only female physician on staff, Dr. Broomer never let hardships like not being allowed to use the all-male physician's lounge or not having a call room of her own on overnight cases stop her from doing all she could to serve her patients. In addition to having her own private OB/GYN practice, she also served as a rape examiner at TGH, an instructor, and a physician advisor. Throughout her 45-plus year career, Dr. Broomer delivered over 10,000 babies in Tampa, all while raising a family and championing community causes as an active leader. When TGH was building out its Bayshore Pavilion in 2008, Dr. Broomer and her husband Joe were one of the first to support the project, naming a patient care area in the hospital's new wing. For her compassionate dedication to her patients, her steadfast resolve to chase her dreams, her tireless community activism, and her legacy of leadership and giving, Tampa General Hospital Foundation is honored to rename its Women's Leadership Group the Nancy C. Broomer, MD Women's Leadership Circle.